Genetically speaking, people are about 99.9% the same. And even more same the closer you get to your actual direct bloodline family tree. Which means that all of the differences that we see throughout humanity is due to about 0.1% of difference in actual genetic coding. Everything that happens that's different seems to be there. Now this is good news and to a degree bad news. The reason this is good news is that means that we can kind of generalize things to the population pretty well, even with smaller sample sizes, because people are so similar at a very structural, functional level. But where this is bad news is that all of these things that attempt to categorize people, all the categorical thinking that we do, and we all do it, we all do it. Everything from ancient beliefs in like horoscopes and down to racial profiling, things like that, and into more specific things. Special populations that you see in some of the training literature, like older folks versus younger folks and males versus females, and any variety of that. There are so many exceptions to those rules that it becomes almost functionless because those things just don't pan out. Now, what does this generally mean? This means that we can create an algorithm for ourselves and go, look, we're human first, which means the first thing that we need to figure out is this something that a human can do? Is this something that a human can train to progress with? Is this something that a human can perform, etc.? And then you are an individual second, meaning after you're a human, your individual differences, more than any of your group affiliations, is going to actually determine what is right for you, because you are not the same as the next person, even in the same grouping as you. And what is right for that person may not be right for you within those little details. Then after that, your group affiliations might matter, but maybe not. And the reason for that is, again, the fact that every single time we come up with these categorical thoughts, there are a ridiculous amount of exceptions to the rule. Now, where the group affiliation does matter is that often kind of gives trainers and teachers and program designers an idea of how to craft something towards somebody's temperament. Some people may be more responsive. Some people may be more sensitive to certain types of learning styles or stimuli and more resistant to others. And especially when you're doing group classes, that can be very, very useful so that you can pair people up together who have similar learning styles, for projects, for exercises, etc., so that you don't have two people clashing on modalities and just completely ruining the training session for one or both or all, depending on how many are involved. So absolutely. And I say absolutely always with an asterisk, because I don't believe in actual absolutes. There's no such thing as 100%, but you need to understand, right? Human first, individual second, group affiliated third, right? Group affiliation has to come in third at its very best, simply for the fact that within all of these groupings that we create, there is still enough individual difference that means that you cannot do things based on a group basis. And while the categorical thinking may be useful for some things, as we have seen, if you look at guys like Robert Sapolsky, one of my very favorites, his 2012 lecture series on behavioral biology that you can find on the Stanford YouTube, which I'll link below, is absolutely fantastic on illustrating how categorical thinking can get us in trouble. And guys like the barbell medicine guys have gone on to very just firmly say they just don't believe in special populations because of how much the exceptions outweigh the rule quite frequently. And some of the reason for this is we create groupings, we create categories as kind of algorithms or heuristics to make things easier for us to process. It's not something that happens because it's an important thing for life. It's something that happens because it's important for us as individuals to be able to kind of chunk things, because there's always too much data flowing into us and we need to be able to shorthand things. So anytime you're using categorical thinking, algorithms, heuristics, you need to go into it with the mindset of all models are wrong, but some models are useful. And that is the whole point of this, is that we are getting down to, when you're building models, you always have to build in margin for those individual differences. So you start with, is this something appropriate for a human? And then you go, is this appropriate for the individual? And then once you figure out that, you go, all right, these individuals are all similar, we can put them into a group for today, for this exercise, for whatever. And those groupings might change as the exercises change, as the material of learning changes, etc. Because with context, all those variables tends to change. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna put some other links down below. Go check those out, and I will talk to you guys later. Good journey. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. In the links down below, you can find our social media, and I encourage you to follow us there. Take a look at our blog, where we have articles that go into depth that we just can't do in our video productions. And on top of that, go to our Amazon store, pick out a shirt that you like, and every little bit helps. If you're ever in the Phoenix area, look us up. Come in for a class, come in for open mat, whatever. Love to see you down here. You can find all our contact info on the website. Talk to you guys in the next one. Good journey.